What's up, everybody? For this video, I have my brother Jake with me again. We're going to be watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and giving some input on the show.
All this soft swinging, what does that mean? Do you guys know like what they all did?
I think it's just everything but sex is what I understand.
Like oral too?
Yes.
I didn't know it was a sex scandal.
Yeah.
You already have stuff to say?
No, I'm just wondering if we could.
We're like 2 minutes in and we're already like, these people aren't Mormon. It doesn't seem like it.
This is not the real Mormons.
I know. It's like, what kind of branch off is this group for, you know? Oops. Ooh.
Damn.
That's a big no-no. What bullcrap? Just kidding. But
Yes.
they're making it sound so different than what it really is.
Yeah, I guess I can get why they would feel like they're not very free, like because of their husbands and things. But yeah, I think it's just really interesting how all of a sudden they get together and have a party and an orgy happens. Like, what?
I feel like they're just trying to bring up all of the most, the furthest away from Mormon type things that they can, and they're bringing it up. So to me, it's like, sure, they probably were Mormon, but they weren't acting Mormon, you know, and they clearly knew that. So it's like the video claiming that their identity is Mormon wives. It's like, I don't know about that, you know? Like, I mean, sure, maybe they weren't quite excommunicated from the group, but they were clearly doing stuff that is not typical for Mormons to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. Okay, and the fact that they call it The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they were literally posting everything on TikTok. I don't feel like they were trying to be secretive at all.
It's not very much a secret.
Maybe it started off secret because, of course, they're trying to have this reputation of the Mormon, you know. Mm-hmm. Maybe they went to church and then acted like Mormons at church, but then, you know, the rest of their lives they acted however they wanted to. So I would imagine, like, I mean, but the thing is, you can't really keep it that secret, I feel like, you know? If you're really living that, like how they're describing it, going to clubs, going to parties, you know? Like, I bet, like, people got to know, right?
Exactly.
But I feel like a lot of the people in the Mormon faith probably didn't want to, like, I don't know, make it into a problem, I guess. Because I think about it, you're going to church and you know this other mom going to church and she's, you know, living this wild, crazy life against your beliefs, but she's still coming to church and at least, you know, trying to be a church person, I guess, on Sundays. So you're just kind of like, okay, well, like, that's how they want to live their life, you know?
My question is, how is it that they get together, this whole party of people that are supposedly Mormon, and they do all these wild things and obviously, like, get drunk and everything, and it's, like, completely against the Mormon rules? I feel like they were, I don't know, going to non-Mormon parties or something. I don't know. That's interesting.
Or, though, just enough of them, because, you know, there's all different types of people in every religion, right? So if you just get enough of the rebels of the Mormon group or in your ward, your church, right? And, you know, you're at a party and one of them drinks and then you're like, oh, they're okay with me drinking, so maybe I'll drink. And then it just escalates, you know? Because I feel like, again, they weren't living very Mormon lives at all. And so they just did whatever they wanted, but still went to church so they could claim they were Mormon wives. It's kind of funny.
Have you ever heard that saying where it says, like, don't go fishing with only one Mormon or something? Go with two. Because then one of them will start swearing with you, but if you bring two, then they'll both pretend to be
that
good.
They don't swear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's like if they're alone with you, then they'll swear and, like, kind of do whatever they want, but if there's another Mormon around, they have to act Mormon. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
I feel like that's kind of what's going on. Is like they're like,
but this is the opposite though. They're getting around Mormons that are okay with drinking and doing other stuff, so then they just do whatever they want.
True.
So, they probably don't even actually like each other. The first book of Taylor. Are they writing their own Book of Mormon?
They're writing it like it's the Bible or something.
Okay, first of all, how did she get married in the temple? She literally just said she was having sex before marriage. Like, that's one of the biggest rules against the Mormon church.
Exactly.
And they're very strict about who can enter their temple. So
that brings to my mind the topic of like how if something bad is happening with the Mormons or something, then they'll just keep it hush-hush instead of going and like repenting because they don't want to get that backlash and the people talking about them and everything.
Yeah, maybe because there's so many rumors that go around the church and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Nobody wants to start that gossip. Only 2 kids. That's not very Mormon. So, okay. She says she gets in a fight with her boyfriend, and when asked why they were fighting, she says that she drank, and then she drank some more, and she got drunk. So she's implying that that's what caused the fight. So to me, I'm like, that's got to be so weird, because it's kind of painting this picture that her husband or her boyfriend must be Mormon, or at least not wanting to drink, and I'm assuming that's because maybe he's Mormon, right? And she's just drinking in front of him. Or like, to me, that feels like she's antagonizing him, trying to be like, what you gonna do? I'm going to drink in front of you. It's interesting that they'll try and hide it and keep it hush-hush because they're like, no, they're not supposed to. But then, I feel like they just get to a certain point where they're not going to hide it anymore. Now it's who they are. So they're going to drink in front of their Mormon friends or in this case, their Mormon boyfriend. And they're just going to do it,
Yeah.
Whatever. And it sounds like they're able to. I mean, I guess it does cause some fights and stuff. But to me, I'm like, well, then you got to confront it. Like, openly say if you're Mormon or not. Because I feel like the reason why a fight would come up if you're drinking is because that person expects you not to. Like, if you told them you weren't going to.
I lied about
So I feel really, really bad. Like, what? Sure.
I was embarrassed.
I didn't even know it was true until I confronted Connor. And I went to him like, look at this joke.
Okay, we gotta talk about that. Because, oh my goodness, I think this is why so many people say, like, the Mormon church is very different from the FLDS and other old-fashioned Mormon groups. Because they call the LDS church a cult, right? But it's like, it doesn't give very culty vibes when these people can literally do whatever they want to be in it. Like, when we grew up in the order, a real cult, and it's like you can't just do whatever you want without getting huge repercussions and, like, real repercussions. In the order, they control our money. We can't just do whatever we want because then we don't get no money. What are we supposed to do, So it's just like they clearly, to me, it sure seems like they can do whatever they want. And so they're not living a Mormon life, but I guess maybe like the Mormon church is still letting them go to church, They're still able to say they're Mormon, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the biggest kind of change I'm seeing is that with this specific, wherever these people came from of the Mormons, then... and it's happening a lot more around Utah and everything where the women have a lot more power in the household rather than it just being like how it used to be, how the men would lead the household and everything, which is fine. And I'm not saying that's bad or anything, but it's definitely partly going completely the other way where the men kind of don't really have a say in what's going on. I feel like.
So to me, in a typical Mormon home, the man would just kind of be in control, and the woman's typically a whatever stay-at-home wife does whatever the man says. But it's like it's clearly not that way in these relationships, So there's a wide range of types of Mormons. That is true, but at least these girls in this episode don't seem very Mormon at all. My question, though, is, are their husbands, are their husbands maybe more Mormon than these girls are? And so they're trying to fight that? Because she mentioned that they're trying to fight the patriarchy, right, of the church. So it's like, are they staying Mormon to try and, change the religion? Is that maybe what it is? Make the religion more okay with them drinking and doing whatever? I don't know. That's almost like the vibe that they're giving a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit kind of like, we're going to be here, but we're going to still do whatever we want. It's like, then leave and do whatever you want,
Yeah, but the thing is, that's totally up to them. If they still want to go to church, I don't know why you'd want to go to church after a weekend of drinking, but if they still want to, okay, sure, why not? I mean, clearly the church isn't, kicking them out or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can do that. nothing wrong with it. But to me, that's why the Mormon church isn't so cult-like. They're not super controlling and demanding. They have a lot of rules, for sure. Don't get me wrong on that. But it's like, you do them, you don't, whatever. It's way more chill. So much more laid back. So she says a lot of them look similar, right? Do you feel like Utah has a certain look for people?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Cults of Consciousness actually went over that in one of their videos. Basically, it's the lineage where they come from is a whole bunch of a group that would like marry even within the family and everything and have a whole bunch of polygamous wives and everything. Mm-hmm. And their whole goal was to have as many kids as possible, like a lot of the groups now. And that's why I feel like a lot of Utah people have the blonde hair and blue eyes look now. Yeah.
And so you feel like it's because of they all just bred with each other, kind of. So a lot of them, because I guess when the Mormons came to Utah, it was only them, and it's I think some Native Americans. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly on that, but and a lot of them didn't intermarry, so they didn't mix basically. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them did stay Mormon, but I don't know how much of that is still today because there's a lot of integration in Utah now. The population is huge. And so, yeah. And the Mormon church has more members outside of the U.S. now than in. Yeah. So it's definitely a little bit different. But it could be due to other things, too. Like Utah's #1 for plastic surgery. Oh, so maybe they're all trying to look alike, too, you know? Because they all have this ideal look, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and it is interesting. From living in Utah, you'll notice that people will want to look like each other too, you know, like...
Yeah, Utah definitely has their own types of trends, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I could see that a lot of them kind of have similar styles.
Yeah, I think it's mainly due to the polygamy at the start of kind of the Mormonism and everything. Everyone and then also
related to each other.
The fact that how Mormonism is and everything is to be... everyone kind of wants to be accepted. So they do that by trying to look like each other at the same time. Oh, yeah.
Too. Maybe they're getting the plastic surgery and trying to look like one another so that they'll be more accepted or be liked more or something.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
That's a good point. Could be. You know, it's funny. The first thing she says is here in Utah, there's a lot of blonde bitches. It's like that you could dye your hair. There's so many people that aren't their natural hair color anymore. Yeah. So to me, that kind of does go along with how a lot of people are changing themselves, trying to look alike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where are their garments? I could see so much, and there's no garments there.
This is an interesting topic because you can watch them, and they're like kind of like trying to dance on the edge when really they're just putting it all out there. But
yeah, almost like because I mean, I remember some people doing this in the order where it's just kind of funny to tease and joke about how the religion is a little bit. You know, that's what it seems like they're doing.
Yeah, so much gossip here.
Taylor, for real.
Yeah.
That you're so stupid. You're always screwing up everything.
Do you think I'm a bad person?
No, I don't think you're a bad person. I just think you've done a lot of bad stuff. Bro. All the choices that you make, I didn't think you would be doing that.
Oh man! Just say she's a bad person already.
But this is honestly nice compared to a lot of the Utah moms that I've seen. Mm-hmm. A lot of Mormon moms, they'll be like it gives a little bit of a cult vibe, but I've heard a lot of Mormon moms be very straightforward with their kids and be like, you cannot do that. And, you know, there's a lot of disowning still because of the religion. Yeah. But this mom, like, I feel like she's doing it decently nice. She's very blunt, for sure, which is funny. But so was the daughter. The daughter just straight up. Do you think I'm a bad person because of the things I did?
At the end of the day, I do know my mom loves me and wants the best, but...
Yeah, the question I have when I see this stuff, it's like, why even care at that point? Like, they're already doing all this, and you're just like, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But it's like, okay.
Yeah, but it's also interesting that the daughter wants to know almost. She's like going to her mom being like, do you still like me? You know? And like trying to figure out. I mean, I don't know if she's like trying to apologize or what she's doing here, but she clearly wants something out of this, you know?
Yeah, that's what's interesting is it's like they clearly have something where it's like, oh, well, I'll always love you no matter what you do. But then it's like, okay, then they just bring up like well, that was still terrible that she did that thing. It's just an interesting way for them to kind of discuss it.
Yeah, to me, I wonder if it's them saying that they're always going to love them, but it's still kind of on condition, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love you more if you lived my way of believing, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting, but I don't know. My first impression is the mom seems decently nice, though.
Yeah, and what's weird is that the mom knows everything, you know? It's
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. A lot of, like, especially in the order, it's like, they're mad at you for what they know you did and the stuff they think you did. You know? It gets way more intense for sure.
Yeah.
And there's just no trust. Here, it seems like they kind of trust each other, you know?
Yeah.
Some mutual
At least they're
understanding.
able to talk about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I hope they explain what soft swinging is, because...
Oh, most people know about that.
What?
It's probably just you that does it.
No, I hope they explain, because I have no idea. Or
well, I mean, they'll probably explain how far they went, but they do it all together.
See, but then there's no point to that. That's what's weird. Is I think that soft swinging is
what
really
if what if they just want to do it?
They're just a little kinky, huh?
I don't know. That's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, but you can kind of tell that. I feel like they're trying to keep it a little vague because that's like the big thing that they're gonna reveal soon.
True.
You know? So we'll figure it out hopefully eventually. Hey, they just explained it.
Hey, okay.
Like oral too?
Yes. It was like swapping in front of each other, standing next to each other type stuff.
No. I just love also that it's like, okay, we can do everything.
She's
but
gotta
like,
have plastic
it's like,
surgery.
no.
So maybe it's not plastic surgery, but it's makeup or something.
Well, they at least do that. So some of them obviously do plastic surgery for sure.
What?
Girl, your mind's in together.
That?
Well, I there's no way I'm like that, but this person did this. Like,
oh yeah, this person, they did it.
Because it's like anything you can do to get the spotlight off of you. It's just...
Clearly, yeah, her and her mom, they have disagreements and they don't seem to be getting along too well. But the mom's still being surprisingly nice, I feel like.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
Trust issues.
Yeah, because she said everybody was involved.
Okay, wait, come here.
Let me use you.
Okay, so
what's going on?
So they're a little bit all over the place here, but basically that other girl, she went on TikTok Live and said that everybody was involved with it.
Okay, what does this have to do with the cereal? I'm so confused.
So she kind of fucked up there.
Just a lot of talking back and forth.
Saying
a lot of
that
blaming other people. Well, right now they're talking about this dude having a Tinder account.
Oh, shit.
Kind of, I guess, trying to cheat or something.
Can I ask,
Yeah.
did it go further than Tinder?
No, he never met up with anybody.
How long had it been going on?
Like our whole marriage.
Okay, so he just explains that he had a problem with going on Tinder. And it's weird, kind of, that he's crying.
Why is that weird? That's perfectly normal. He basically cheated on his wife. He can cry.
Yeah, it's just like interesting dynamic. Like she's just listening to him be like, I know I made these mistakes and I'm sorry, I'm working on myself.
Well, and they're like really worried about how they're gonna tell people, you know? Like it sounds like they can't really keep it a secret much longer.
Yeah, and it makes sense what they're talking about, how like when they go into church, then it's gonna be like the elephant in the room. Everybody's gonna be like looking at them like, oh, that's crazy that you did that. You know, and so it's good that they're trying to work through it together.
When Whitney told me that Demi said I was too Mormon for her, she also told me that Demi called Taylor white trash.
It seems like you keep doing this.
What are you talking about?
Wait, so when did you call me white trash?
Let me explain where that was coming
How
from.
can they just be so openly like, you're disgusting? That's crazy.
It's just kind of like that subtle, sly comment. To get
Yeah, and then they're like still 100% friends, and it's like, it makes sense. It's cool that they're friendship, but it's like that was a rude way of saying it, you know, like.
Demi called Taylor white trash.
That's kind of hard.
That's really hard.
You don't just say.
I wouldn't even say that. I don't like Taylor.
Oh my god.
It's just funny to see the dynamic.
Kind of beating around the bush, and then they'll just be like, oh yeah, well I think this is shit. And then it's like, oh, but okay. We were talking about this.
Oh, I look exactly like you.
One thing I will say is I get after watching this, I get why like people from other countries and like they say that all Americans look the same. Because I cannot differentiate these girls. They all look the same. So it's like they say one name and I'm like, that was the other girl. What? I cannot, like, they all look exactly the same.
We're all from Utah, okay?
Yeah, Utah is just this big pit of the same person, guys. Don't be fooled.
It makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Party that really leaned into that.
It's a vagina.
Yes, you guys win.
Is this sex educational or
This
what
is
subject is
health
this?
class.
Okay. So, really?
I've noticed a big difference down there to the point where it's uncomfortable. So they're basically cutting off that
Oh my
extra
gosh.
meat.
It's just weird to hear Mormon girls talk about stuff that openly. But it's fine. Like, it's a good thing. I get it. They feel safe to talk about that and everything. But it's like, that's just so funny to see into that part of their life.
Hilarious.
By the way, anyone watching, no judgment from us. Like, this is not people like us. This is rich people.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So I feel like their life is actually pretty different than most Mormons that would actually from Utah would be watching this, because there are some of the Mormons who are very well off, born from rich families. That's why they do a lot of interesting things. I feel like anyways, that's just my take on it.
It does seem like a lot of Mormons are wealthy, though. Is that somewhat common?
Definitely. A lot of them are. Whoa.
I either miscarried because I had a ton of blood. I was like
That's
freaking out
wild.
and calling my doctor, and they're like, "We're pretty sure you like miscarried then," or I have an
This
ectopic pregnancy.
is actually very interesting, and for anybody watching, this could be educational, because it kind of goes to show how when people are pressured into marriages, things don't go as planned. Of course, because it's not their choice in the first place. Because they feel like their parents and then the church and everything wants to get married to this Mormon man and everything. And it makes so that it's like they're always looking for something else other than that. What's up?
Sorry, I just keep thinking what they were saying. It's so funny. But you're right. I think that's definitely, it's just a very weird dynamic for sure.
Yeah, and now with what we're seeing in this clip is that they just kind of have to deal with it, because they already have kids together, and then it's like they were really young when they got married, so it's like they just forced it really quick, and they didn't take any time to think about what they wanted in their own life. So I think now this goes back to when she was telling her mom, even before she did the pregnancy test, for some reason they're so addicted to drama and giving each other secrets and stuff.
Gossip is what we live for.
Yeah, see, and that's why she would
weird.
tell her mom,
Gotta be more careful.
I don't know. It just shows how the dynamic of their life, since I feel like this is more of a thing of them coming from money than it being Mormonism. It's just they're like a kid. It's just like something fun, you know, and it's like not a big responsibility. It's like, oh, maybe we'll hang out with it. Like, it's like we'll just throw it in the wind, see what happens. It's like, because
What the are you talking about, Jen? Shut up.
You guys were both going at each other. So why are you being so rude now? You're being a bitch.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not. It's because
The way they talk to each other, man, I'm like, what are they trying to get to?
it just seems like so much carelessness, really. Like,
And little jabs at each other. Like, oh, you did this? Oh, this happened?
it's like their whole point of getting together is just to like find the most extreme topics and like get them to get that dopamine in their brain.
Give the most drama to the group.
It's just like,
so
we'll
funny.
see what happens. Maybe our baby will turn out or something. It's like,
So that's very interesting that at least he's being straight up, super open, super honest. And I feel like that's good. Transparency is good. So she knows what he wants. And I mean, I guess it's another thing if he sticks to it, but
I think it is very good that he's talking about that. I wonder from here if they will kind of try and come to a compromise, or if they will just split paths because of this. And I think that if they come to a compromise, then it will just cause things down the road.
But isn't that also kind of tough because they're already married, they already have kids, and he's now kind of in this stage of what he expects and what he wants?
Wait, no, isn't this the dude? So she already got divorced, and this is her new boyfriend.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this is the new guy. She just got both. So does she have kids or no?
Well, she does have kids with the other guy.
Okay,
and then they're wondering if they want to get married now.
I see. Okay, so so he's coming to the table as a new guy. I see then. Let's go back there.
Whoa!
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot more to go into next time. I predicted that that there would be problems with her drinking and him not. And I think what kind of happened was like she got super drunk. That's why I just think you can't have that kind of a relationship where it's like one person values drinking and the other values being sober, you know?
But then who asks who to change, you know? Like, that's tough for both of them, right?
That's why you either, if she doesn't want to change like that, like how she's like, I'm drinking tonight, then you just be like, okay, we're done. You know, we have to be, like, it won't work after that. Yeah.
So, that's the end of episode 1 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But we kind of feel like they're not so Mormon wives. And it's interesting to see their dynamic. Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Have you talked to your bishop or the church about anything?
No.
Come ye saints and come